Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I normally start on the title screen of the games, but I just wanted to point out this weekend, fitness boxing isn't surprising, right? But I've been not really replaying Engage, but rather had that itch for Fire Emblem lately. And so I've just been like popping in and going to the world and doing skirmishes and stuff. It's fun. Louise is still amusing to bonk things with. And I'm still not finished with Pokemon. So one day we'll get there. But poor Ace Attorney got shuffled back 4 whole spaces. It could be worse, though. It could be Giraffe and Annika, which is, I think, not even on the Switch anymore. It was a good game. It was fun. It was cute. But, Oh, hello. Hello, L:Q, my friend. How are you? Do you enjoy the Ace Attorney? Because actually, I don't know if you read through my little retrospective on the first 7 days or so, but of Advent Code. But I did slip in a silly Ace Attorney thing in there. Hold on, let me mute the game and play it. Hopefully it's not too loud. Be next to your volume just in case. Just that silly Ace Attorney thing. If you've never used objection.lol, that is the website that you can use to make those, which is pretty good. But yes, welcome to the place where I basically just record Let's Plays that like a few people in Europe occasionally watch while they're doing cleaning around their house, to which I like these people. They're good. I try to do funny voices, but we shall see. Also, I'm not good at doing girl voices, though, so I'm not that talented. Not like some people on VR chat. Mr. Ray is sure acting funny. I mean, he's famous for going on a limb, but that last assertion was just plain crazy. It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense. Maybe there's something we're missing here. Although, he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this. I want to go check up on him. What's going on with you, Mr. Wright? Oh, is this Army? Hey, Private Justice. Oh, Sarge. I forgot to mention something. On the night of Papa's murder, a strange thing happened. Oh? But why are you only telling me about it now? Also, this little girl, her name is Army Buff, and she has had a hell of a life so far. Like, last year, she was protected by her mother, jumping out of a burning building, and her mother died, but she lived. And then her father and her moved up to the countryside so that, like, she could try to recover a bit, and she became a bit of a NEET. And like stays inside of her room all the time, enacting her siege defense, as she calls it, where she just uses the drone to like interact with the outside world. And now her father's dead too, so she's in for a rough time. But it's okay. She's got her chin up, and I'm sure she'll survive. She has all her army knowledge because she is, after all, Army Buff. But why are you only telling me about it now? Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figure it might be important. There's still more to this case? When I left my room and lost consciousness, I passed out right here. That's right above the coffee bar. Mm-hmm. But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. Do you know who it was? No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights. Maybe it was your father. No, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him. So then, it could have been Your father's real killer?
My thoughts exactly.
But you didn't report this to the police?
It didn't even occur to me.
It's okay. You were obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself up over it. Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing.
Guess I should take her statement down as evidence.
She fled to her room when she realized someone had moved her while she'd been unconscious on the second floor. Oh, welcome back, Athena. What's with the long face? How'd it go at Mr. Wright?
What should I...
Athena?
Ooh, sorry. Zoned out there for a sec. The recess is almost over, so let's go.
What was that all about? This is such a weird case. Apollo and Athena. I don't know how familiar you are with the Ace Attorney series, but this is the Apollo Justice trilogy, which takes place after the original Ace Attorney. And Apollo and Athena are kind of like, not quite his young wards, as it were, but they're like his trainees / he's their mentor and coach at the agency where their lawyer's at. All right, excuse me 1 second. All right, court is once again back in session. Now, Mr. Wright, what that last objection you raised? We, the plaintiffs, still believe the defense has yet to sufficiently prove its case. They claim that, according to legend, the Founder's Orb would bestow spiritual power. Yet the relic in question has failed to do so. Therefore, it has failed its own test. I see.
He's sticking with that ridiculous argument?
Furthermore, even if it is the Founder's Orb, it can't be awarded the Defiant Dragons. After all, they are the ones who killed Dr. Buff.
Objection!
What are you talking about? That was already proven to be false. There are no grounds for asserting that the Defiant Dragons murdered the Doctor. Oh, but I'm afraid there are, Mr. Justice. Your Honor, I would like to present new testimony to this court. Testimony that was sure that Datsar Rebel did in fact kill Dr. Buff.
What?
Very well. You may call your witness.
I guess Mr. Wright found another new angle. What new testimony could there be this late in the game?
Who is he going to call up? Oh, Paul. Fellow citizens, it is I, Paul Attition, the once and future representative of the people.
Jeez, not him again.
My client divulged new information to me during the recess. He remembered something he saw, you see. Something crucial to this case.
How very convenient.
That's his crime.
It was around 11 at night, and I was out on a mobile meet and greet around the village.
That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window. Mr. Rebel snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. His weapon of choice, a suitcase. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. You saw the murder as it happened? And you're just telling us now because... I saved the best for last. It's a tactic known to all the political greats. The murder weapon was a complete mystery, but my client's eyewitness account has finally brought it into the light. According to the autopsy report, Dr. Buff was struck in the head by the corner of some object. I suppose that could very well be the corner of a suitcase.
Objection!
But eyewitness testimony isn't the same as hard evidence. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. What's that supposed to mean? We have physical evidence too. A luminol test revealed. The doctor's blood on Mr. Rebel's suitcase. Really? But how does that prove Mr. Rebel used it as a weapon?
Objection!
You should know the answer to that, Mr. Justice. Since you know as well as I that the suitcase is covered in his fingerprints.
I forgot we dusted it right in front of him.
Well, of course his suitcase is covered in his fingerprints. It's talking about terror strikes again.
This is quite convincing testimony evidence. Nevertheless, you may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Justice.
This guy. I like his Daruma pin, but he's a douchebag. Alright, let's get to pressing.
Hold it!
That's too pressing, not depressing. You're on a so-called mobile meet and greet at 11 at night? That's wrong. It's the perfect time because everyone is at home. You should have seen how the villagers' eyes teared up when they heard what I had to say. The tears of frustration, no doubt. You weren't riding around in your palanquin? That's right. Some village idiot reported me to the police. I've been banned from using it after dark. No wonder, with all the noise he makes. So what exactly did you see then? That's when I saw Dr. Buff being murdered from outside his study window.
Hold it!
Sounds like you witnessed something rather shocking. Indeed, I didn't even believe it at first. I mean, a vicious murder in Karain. There haven't been many murders there, I take it. If I'm elected, I promise you that such a terrible tragedy will never happen again. A vote for me is a vote to banish murder forever from our beloved Karain village. Yeah, good luck with that.
Mr. Atchison Wimbledon, please tell the court what you saw at the scene of the crime.
Mr. Rebel snuck up from behind and struck him on the head. He snuck up from behind? So you're saying the doctor never even realized Mr. Rebel was there? That's right. He was utterly absorbed in a book. I see. What did you see Mr. Rebel do next? He climbed up the bookshelf ladder and dumped a bunch of books down on the body. I believe he was trying to make it look like an accident. But that idiot didn't realize I could see everything from outside the window. One of those statements doesn't feel right. Your Honor, I believe the witness made an important statement just now about how Dax is an idiot. What do we want added to the testimony? Let's think. So he's talking. Let's see here. He's trying to make it look. He's opening a book. So is the crime visible? I mean, it is potentially visible from where he would be by the tree because there's a window right there. Unless he was killed over by the coffee stuff and everything. He wasn't absorbed in a book. I don't think he was absorbed in a book. Again, like the psychology book or whatever it is, the one with the blood on it, that one looks more like the murder weapon than not, right? And also stained with coffee, and the coffee is over by the coffee bar. So that is also strange. But, I mean, if he was over by the coffee, then he wouldn't be able to be seen. But we don't know that. I don't think we have much evidence left. So, the doctor was reading a book. This one is maybe a bit weird because we know that he needs reading glasses to read, right? And they were found on his desk. So I think it's that one, honestly. That one's the weirdest thing about it. The doctor was reading a book at the time of the murder? That's vital testimony.
Very well. The witness will please add that statement to his testimony.
The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbed in a book. Alright, do we press and get all the other info, or do we just present? Let's press, just in case. You watched a murderer commit his crime and did nothing to stop it? That doesn't sound like a good way to score points with the voting public. I'm a politician, not a superhero. I'm under no obligation to risk life and limb. He sure is quick to deny his obligations when there's nothing in it for him. Getting tired of listening to the endless campaigning and flimsy rationalizations. About your testimony, Mr. Edison, Whipperson. You said Mr. Rebel struck the doctor from behind while he was absorbing the book. Yes, that's exactly what happened. His weapon of choice, a suitcase.
Hold it!
Are you sure? Positive. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Yet, despite your certainty, you've kept quiet about it until now? No, I was waiting. I knew there'd be a perfect chance to talk about it later. Information must always be disclosed in a strategic manner. That is one of the lessons of Kingcraft, as taught by the Attishan clan. Is there a lesson, by chance, in the Attishan Kingcraft guidebook on being honest? Anyway, I saw Mr. Rebel commit that heinous crime. A big, strong man like him could easily swing a heavy suitcase into someone's head. I would have to agree, that suitcase is really heavy. Wait a second. How did you know it was so heavy? For all you know, it could have been empty.
Objection!
My client witnessed the crime in progress, so naturally he saw Mr. Rebel strain to lift what was obviously a heavy suitcase. I can't say I'm a fan of you trying to discredit my client by tripping it up, Mr. Justice. I'm just doing what you always do, Mr. Wright. Dr. Bob was struck from behind while he was absorbing a book. He must have been really into it. Doesn't add up. What doesn't? That politician is lying. I'm sure of it. I too am sure of it. Alright. So let's save just in case we get it horribly wrong. But I'm pretty sure we're not. The doctor couldn't have been reading unless he had his glasses. And his glasses were found on the desk, which means he wasn't wearing them when he was murdered.
Objection!
And the music stopped, which means I'm right. The doctor was standing in front of the bookshelves, absorbing a book, you say. I'm sorry, but it seems your testimony is completely unreliable. That's quite a bold statement. Let's hear you back it up. I challenge you to prove that I'm anything but 100% reliable. It'd be my pleasure. Lately, it seems the doctor's eyes had gotten so bad he needed reading glasses. However, his reading glasses were over on his desk. So you see, there's no way he could have been reading in front of the bookshelves. I'm sorry, Mr. Attishan Wimperson, but I'm gonna have to ask you to explain this discrepancy to the voting public. You what? I'll explain it, you lowly cur. I simply made a mistake, you see. The doctor was actually sitting at his desk when Mr. Herbal hit him over the head. But then the doctor would have been facing. Surely he would have seen him and tried to run. Dr. Buff was nodding off. I could tell because his eyes were closed and he wasn't moving. Sounds more like what you would do. Then how do you explain the fact that he was struck in the back of his head? Isn't that something that should be impossible from the front of the desk? Ew. About that. He bowed his head when he nodded off. That's when he was clobbered.
So that's what you saw. Well, Mr. Justice, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to me. Do you have a problem with the proposal that the doctor was struck while nodding off?
I mean, his body wasn't over there. Also, there was blood on the book, right? If the book was in front of him when he was reading, how did the blood get on it? Also, don't we have testimony that they were arguing before? Sometime between 10 and 11. I mean, could you hit him from the front like that? Maybe. With the corner of an unidentified object. Cerebral hemorrhaging. They're found on his desk. Coffee. I'm not sure what evidence it is yet, but let's keep going after this angle. There is a problem, a very big problem. The witness statement doesn't hold up under the slightest bit of scrutiny.
That's so. Will you please show this court what evidence you have to justify this?
Gladly, Your Honor. This shows the problem with the witness's claim that he saw the doctor nodding off. Oh wait, he would have been drinking coffee.
Take that!
Right? Nope, that's wrong. They're not gonna let me point to the coffee. Speaking of nodding off. See, the witness has passed out from the overwhelming power of my evidence. Damn. Alright, hold on. Think about the relative positions of the witness and the doctor again. Oh! Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. There's a bookshelf. I forgot about that. If he wasn't in front of the ladder, in front of the bookshelves, and he was at his desk, then there is a bookshelf in the way between the window and the wall, till the blood drips down his bald head. Okay. Shows the problem with the witness claim they saw the doctor nodding off. Yeah, note the bookcase, large window, and it's like, yup.
Take that!
Thank you, Athena.
A diagram of the study?
Mr. Addison Wimperson allegedly viewed the murder from here. And the doctor was allegedly nodding off here. But from his vantage point, the bookcase would have blocked the witness' line of sight.
Why, yes, I believe you're right.
Objection!
The fact remains, my client knew that the suitcase was the murder weapon, so he definitely has first-hand knowledge of the crime scene. I'm afraid I have to agree with you there, Mr. Wright. But then we have to ask ourselves, from what vantage point did he see the murder? What are you insinuating, Mr. Justice? From what vantage point could Mr. Addison Wimperson have seen the dozing doctor? Once we determine that, I believe we'll finally see the truth behind this incident. The witness saw the murder from right here. Oh boy. I mean, I would think that the whole like pushing the cart and everything would put him like up here maybe. Because then he'd be able to see it, right? Or if we point here, we peg him as the murderer. Which, I mean, maybe. But it would be more likely for him to be up here, right? I'm not sure. Do we try to say that he's the murderer? Or do we go for a bystander observer type deal? Let's... I don't know. Do we have enough to peg him as a murderer yet? Probably not. I'll say he's up here, because that would explain... Like, that would go with what Army was saying. You gotta be kidding.
But us!
It is indeed. But everything only makes sense if the witness was there in the study. Inside the study? But that's the scene of the crime. I know. Mr. Addison Wimperson, the man who claims to be a witness to the murder, was most certainly in that very room. Apollo, are you suggesting? Mr. Addison Wimperson? Weren't you the one who actually swung that suitcase?
Objection!
Wow, Apollo's really going for it. What you're proposing is ludicrous. My client is a small, thin man, whereas Mr. Rebel has the musculature to pull it off. He has a point. You're trying to lift that thing after one go. That's right. He's the only one who could have lifted such a heavy object. Now do you understand? The rebel Datsa rebel is the doctor's killer. As long as the suitcase is the murder weapon, the suspicion falls entirely on Dax. You have to poke a hole in Mr. Wright's argument somehow, Apollo.
Oh, I will. His own technique, no less.
If Mr. Attition Wimperson couldn't swing the suitcase around, we'll just have to consider another way he could have used it as the murder weapon instead. Sorry, the text is so slow sometimes. Also, like, I think it was like a year and a half ago or so, I was trying to see if I could make like visual novel primitives in libgdx, and I did get like text like coming in letter by letter and everything, but font's really hard. Like trying to compute glyph size and then like it's like how many lines, like how do you intelligently split a line so that you could just like write regular text and then like put it into a block like this and such. It's like a relatively like interesting problem to poke at and figure out. So, anyway, I'm gonna turn this case on its head, Mr. Wright, just like you taught me. You talk big, Mr. Justice, but do you have what it takes?
Well, this should be interesting.
Mr. Attition Wimperson's testimony has been filled with one inaccuracy after another. First, he stated that Dr. Buff was in front of the bookshelves. Now he claims the doctor was sitting at his desk. So where was the victim really when he was killed? Also, where was his killer? And how was the murder weapon really used?
The important thing here is the position of the victim and killer relative to each other.
Yes, Your Honor. If they were positioned in a certain way, it would be possible to use a suitcase as a weapon without lifting a finger. You can't mean. I would ask the court to recall the study's layout. It's quite distinctive, as you can see. So he dropped the suitcase on his head. Is that what happened? Now, if Dr. Buff were sitting in a certain spot and his killer was at a certain other spot, the suitcase would become a weapon anyone could use.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Where was Dr. Buff's killer at the time of the crime?
Alright, well, see, this is mildly confusing, though. Because... So, I'm assuming we're going after the dropping angle of things. Right? So, like, the killer would be up here, and then he would drop the suitcase to where it was in the study, and it hit him. Which is why there's coffee on the book. Because if he was reading the book at this chair, then he'd be at the coffee bar, right? So that would make some degree of sense. The blood on the book would just be from, like, the hemorrhaging, and not actually the wound itself. Which should explain why the blood is a different color on the book than the wound on his head, maybe? Not sure if that really, they're trying to say anything there or not, but either way. The only thing I don't like about this theory, though, is that this implies that he dragged the doctor's body and moved it to his location, which is kind of far away, and Wimperson is a wimp, so that's a little bit harder to stomach, I think. But I'm gonna go with this.
There.
Oh, that's... This should wrap things up nice and pretty for you, Mr. Wright. I asked the court to recall the study's layout. But this time, instead of thinking in 2 dimensions, let's think in 3. Only then can we clearly see the killer's method at work. Whoa! Look at these advanced graphics from Ace Attorney. The killer didn't have to swing the suitcase. If he used gravity to his advantage, that is. That's right. It was the plaintiff, one Paul Attition Wimperson, who used the suitcase. He pushed it from the 2nd floor and sent it hurling down onto Dr. Buff, who was sitting at the coffee bar. The psychology book had been at the coffee bar, no doubt. The doctor must have set it down there after he'd finished reading it, more than likely.
but his blood gone, which is why the killer thought to hide in that mountain of books.
Objection!
That's quite an entertaining theory you have there, Mr. Justice. But there's no evidence that the murder took place at the coffee bar. I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Wright. I say that evidence of the murder occurring at the coffee bar. Is this? I mean, the coffee on the book, right? That's all I got, though. The evidence does exist, and I'm going to show you. You are? Oh, good. This, right here, is proof that the murder took place at the coffee bar. Hang on.
Take that!
This brown stain was determined to be coffee. What's more, it was still a bit damp when we saw it yesterday morning. One look at this book speaks volumes, I'm afraid, Mr. Wright. Oh, look at that pun. That's pretty good. That's a good pun right there. It tells us the doctor was having a cup of coffee at the coffee bar. That's when the suitcase came hurling down, striking him on the head, causing both his blood and his coffee to spatter onto it. Well, Mr. Attition Wimperson? What motive could I possibly have had to kill Dr. Buff? And there it is. That final excuse corner killers are so fond of. Well, the doctor never returned your crystal to you, did he? Instead, he hid it in the cave ruins. Telling him that the Defiant Dragons were a dangerous bunch was a huge blunder. All it did was make him hide the orb. The lie came back to bite you in the end. Even worse, the doctor saw the news reports, so he knew the relic was the Founder's orb. Being the conscientious researcher he was, he knew he had to return it to its rightful place. And that meant keeping it out of your hands. You were so angry that he refused to return the relic to you, that you killed him with your own hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Attition Wimperson?
Hold it!
That is...
Apollo, please don't accuse my client of murder. Huh? What do you mean, don't accuse him? Why would you even say that, Mr. Wright? What I meant was, he's a promising politician with a bright future ahead of him. It's our nation's best interest to avoid burning him with the taint of scandal. Say what? More tape. Right, you'd better do something to change the current courtroom climate, or I'll be charged with murder. And you know what will happen to her if that happens. What's he talking about? I can ponder that later. For now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly believe that Mr. Rebel is the killer. Are you really going to send an innocent man to prison? I thought you were better than that. Well, Mr. Wright, answer me. Mr. Wright? What in the world's going on here? If you won't say anything, then... Mr. Attition Wimperson, the defense hereby accuses you... Apollo, wait! Not you too, Athena. It's just, I wasn't sure whether I should say anything, but during that last recess, when I went to check on Mr. Wright, I overheard something I trust Maya is unharmed. I can't really say, but just remember, if I'm arrested or fail to obtain the treasure, there will be consequences. Consequences of the worst kind, if you catch my drift. Relax. All you have to do is ensure I get my hands on that relic. I must deliver it to my benefactor at all costs. What do they want that relic for anyway? Something to do with an old legend. My patron seeks the great powers that to be granted to whoever solves its secret. Ah, this is how everything connects together, huh? Maya? As in Maya Fey? Yes, the boss's legendary former assistant. Miss Fey's being held hostage? So it seems. Why didn't you tell me as soon as you heard this? Sorry, it's just Mr. Wright spotted me before I could slip away. He promised not to tell you. He said it would make things more difficult if you found out. Ugh, as if things weren't already hard enough. So that's why Mr. Wright was acting strange. I had no idea. This must have been excruciating for him. Think, Justice. There's gotta be something. Something you can do.
Mr. Justice, of that last statement of yours, I believe you in the middle of accusing the plaintiff of murdering Dr. Buff. Would you care to continue?
I don't care to save. Oh, this music, though. I'm sorry, Apollo. Really, really sorry.
What's gotten into you two?
If I accuse that slime bag, I put Miss Faye's life in jeopardy. It seems you finally caught on. I'm far too important to be accused of murder. After all, our nation's future rests squarely on my shoulders. I give up, or... Once I present the crystal to my patron, my victory is assured. Then one day I'll become president, and then king. I'll have every politician at my command. Now retract your accusation. Ugh. Is it Kurtol? Kauto? God, that word. Like, I have read this word, I have heard this word said out loud before, but looking at like 4 consonants with 2 O's like that, and it's so close to a woe. Can't koto to him, but the defense would like to retract.
Objection!
Ooh, wait. Ooh, was that Dirk? It is Dirk.
Apollo,
Dirk?
I don't know what's going on here, but a lawyer should never look the way you do right now, with defeat and resignation written all over your face.
A dragon never yields.
Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it latches its jaws firmly onto its prey till the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
Dirk. Dragon never yields. He's right. It's all over. I'll give up now. If Mr. Wright's hands are tied, it's up to me to do what must be done. He saved my neck so many times. Now, it's my turn to save his. Dirk, thanks for that wake-up call.
Now that's the face of a lawyer you got there, son.
There's a will, there's a way. I'm gonna find the way to save Miss Faye and see that justice is served. Ooh, we're doing turnabout time. Scumbag is holding Miss Faye hostage to ensure he gets the orb for his patron. It seems that patron believes in the orb's legend. Thing is, the founder did appear when the orb was exposed to fire, just as the legend said. If the legend is true, we've already solved the riddle, right? No. There's gotta be more to it. The legend says the founder will bestow great spiritual power when she returns. But if that's true, it means we haven't solved the whole riddle yet. Oh, she has to be channeled first. But how can that be? Are we missing something? Wait. Maybe the part about the founder returning should be taken literally. But how would it be possible for a dead person to return to the world of the living? Oh, I do like this. The best thing about the turnabouts is that there aren't any penalties for wrong answers, so you can pick the stupid ones. So channeling is the correct answer because that's, you know, how we would do that. But let's see what Apollo says. Time travel. Go back to the past and bring the founder here to the present. Wait, what am I saying? Maybe I should go back on the sci-fi. Right, give me, what do we get for cloning? I know, cloning technology. That's when the founder's DNA is hidden somewhere in the orb. Didn't know about DNA cloning back then. I think so. Oh, so like we'll request Maya Fey, right? And that's how we get her like safe and sound, maybe. I know there is a way for the dead to return. Spirit channel. I'd like to know what the founder looks like first. But the orb has revealed her face to us. So what if it's a sign that we should channel her? Given the fact, in order to solve the riddle and receive the founder's power, I need to practice channeling. Yes, Apollo. Go join the Fae Clan. All I had to do is train the spirit medium so I can channel spirits myself. It can't be that easy. If I ever did become a medium, I wouldn't need the founder's power anymore anyway. Yeah, we would need mine. A medium is needed to obtain the power. There it is. The ability of a medium to channel spirits is the final key to unlocking the orb's secrets. That means Mr. Attition Wimperson's patron will need one too. And once that slimy politician realizes that, he won't be able to lay a finger on Miss Faye. Yeah, but he has a wife. We can probably do that though. Everything's going to be okay, Mr. Wright. Because Mr. Politician Wimperson can't afford to harm a hair on Miss Faye's head. Yeah. Mr. Titian Wimperson, it seems you've chosen the wrong person to take hostage. What do you mean? Your patron seeks to solve the orb's riddle, and thereby receive great spiritual power. However, only Maya Fey can truly give them what they really want. She can? What do you mean, only Maya Fey? Think about what the return of the founder really means. We should have considered it more literally. After all, the orb was made in the kingdom of Karain, the birthplace of spirit mediums. I think I see now. You need to know what the deceased looks like in order to channel them. But in Karanism, depicting the face of the founder is taboo. However, her true face was hidden in the orb. So maybe the orb is telling us to try channeling the founder. Exactly. Through a spirit medium, the founder can quite literally return. And if the legend is true, the founder just might bestow spiritual power on someone when she does. It's like when Pearls imbued my Magatama with spiritual power. The human could be imbued with such power in a similar manner.
It is said the founder possesses immense spiritual power. Such a great feat would not necessarily be beyond it. Wait a second, then the legend's true!
Do you understand now, Mr. Attition Wimperson? You're holding hostage the final key to unlocking the orb's secret. And if anything were to happen to her, the riddle would remain unsolved. Forever. Go! I like that we're just talking about how he's holding someone literally hostage in a courtroom and no one's doing anything about it. There's always Pearl Faye. I could simply ask her to help. If she wants money, I have plenty to offer. She's not the kind of person to be tempted by material gain. And she certainly wouldn't help you if anything would have happened to her cousin. Or maybe you'd like to go ask the Queen of Karain to channel the founder for you. He could, but he'd probably get executed for requesting such a thing. It's over. Now confess, miss. You killed Dr. Buff, didn't you? This isn't supposed to end this way.
Mr. Titian Wimperson, are you admitting to committing the crime?
You're my lawyer, Mr. Wright. Do something. It's true that I'm your lawyer, and as such, it's my job to defend you. However, defending my client isn't the only duty a lawyer has. There's something else that's equally as important. And that's finding the truth. What? Mr. Attition Wimperson, you have sought to twist the truth in the dirtiest of ways. I was complicit in your hostage-taking, but in a way I was being held hostage too. Even as though there's still hope for me to make things right. I owe it all to you, Apollo. Mr. Right. Can't allow a murderer to walk away scot-free. Therefore, Mr. Attition Wimperson must resign as your attorney. No. Does this mean I'm under arrest? No! I don't really do screams. Apartment complexes don't really like that. Wow, more tape. Well, I have nothing to confess. What? I said I have nothing to confess. I don't, and I won't, especially not to a plebeian like you. This guy doesn't know when to give up. Besides, there's no truth to these allegations. I mean, look at the suitcase. You won't find a single print of mine on it. All that means is you wipe them off, taking care to only leave Mr. Rebels. As many a great politician has said before me, no comment. In that case, try switching things up, Apollo. Look at the situation from a different angle. There really is. Is there really nothing that points to the suitcase being dropped from above? I don't know. Evidence that points to the suitcase being dropped from the second floor. If the killer pushed the suitcase from the second floor hallway over the coffee bar, then I'd place them right around here. Maybe, just maybe. Thought of something, Apollo? Maybe we have Army's testimony, I guess, but... I believe this piece of evidence to be connected to the dropping of the suitcase. She fled to her room when she realized someone had moved her while she'd been unconscious on the second floor. I mean, he could have used her wheelchair to do it.
Take that!
I don't know. That appears to be a statement. But how is that related to this case? On the night of the murder, Your Honor, Miss Army Buff physically left her room. That's when she saw the doctor burning the orb, and subsequently passed out. Right above the coffee bar. But with her there in her wheelchair... the killer wouldn't have been able to drop the suitcase down to the doctor. Good point. However, according to Sarge, she woke up just as someone was trying to move her in her wheelchair. Someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat as fast as my wheels could take me. She must have been in the killer's way and had to be moved. Isn't that right, Mr. Attition Wimperson? And if the killer had pushed the wheelchair with his bare hands, we may yet find the conclusive evidence we need. Exactly. Fortunately for us, that evidence slipped right through the killer's fingers. We've only been able to hold on to it just a little tighter. But now, he's neither able to discard nor alter it. Honestly, that piece of evidence wasn't even supposed to be here in this courtroom today. And yet, looks like sometimes things do get better. But this wasn't supposed to happen. No? Well, too bad, because the evidence that sped away from you that night has come back to haunt you, right here at this very trial. Your Honor, the defense's final piece of evidence is on this person. On? I mean, it's not really on. It's more like she's sitting in it. That's... On the night of the murder, Sarge passed out, only to come to and find that someone was pushing her wheelchair. That's when she fled back into her room. She didn't physically see a single soul after that. Not until Athena drew her out through that therapy session, that is. Well, the killer was able to wipe the prints off the suitcase. The same can't be said for the prints that got away. Yeah, my fellow Coranians. Well, Mr. Politician Wimperson, try to explain your way out of this one. The podium's all yours. A politician, son of I am not a crook. My political career, like this, I'm destined for great things. What's wrong? This isn't really a dream, no nightmare. Oh, what? Wait, what? Really? 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 Whoa! No way! Bonsai! 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 Politician with No! Please! Wait! Don't go! No! Oh, Grandpa! He's just having a meltdown on stage here. Terrible face.
Mr. Artisan Wimperson, are you alright? But, bailiff, get him to the first aid station on the double. Well, this was yet another unexpected turn of events. In light of everything that's been revealed, it seems the relic is indeed the Founder's orb. It seems Mr. Politician Wimperson could be considered a suspect in Dr. Buff's murder.
Paulo, I want to thank you for everything. Thanks to you, I didn't have to keep bending the truth. I don't know what I would have done without you. Don't mention it. You're amazing today, Apollo. I couldn't have done it without Dirk.
A dragon never yields.
Even when wounded, a dragon bites down hard and never lets go till its dying breath. It glares, it roars, and it lashes its jaws firmly onto its prey to the bitter end. That's what lawyers do to get the truth.
Dragon never yields. Every lawyer should take that to heart.
As it seems, both sides have no further objections. Would Dirk Sudmati please take the stand? This court awards the orb to the Defiant Dragons per the stated transfer agreement.
Yeah, but okay. I guess he's a tourist still, technically, in this country, and not a wanted criminal. He should probably leave the court, though, I would think.
Should the Kingdom of Kerrang claim ownership, the matter may have to be deliberated in court all over again. I just hope, or shall I say pray, that I'm not the judge presiding over that one. Indeed. A trial like that might spark an international incident. Still, there are bigger and more momentous things astir in the air.
The revolution. Dirk's really serious about this.
This court is adjourned.
I don't know why Apollo is like, oh, he's so serious about this. Like, as if Dirk hasn't been literally fighting a revolution for, like, literally all of Apollo's life. 20 years.
Nice work, son. Finally broken through the last obstacle on the road to revolution.
Revolution? This doesn't seem real.
Yes, well, I think you actually defeated the Fighting Phoenix. All I can say is that's my boy!
Mr. Right did have his hands tied. Who knows if I would have been able to fight me head on. I see it more like he saved Mr. Right. Saved him. Yeah, remember what he said?
he didn't have to bend the truth anymore. It's all thanks to you.
I don't know about that. Still, I guess it is kind of nice to be appreciated.
Mr. Dirk, now that the Holy Mother's face has been revealed, are you gonna have a spirit medium try channeling her? I, for one, would love to see the return of the legendary founder.
Yeah, just think about it. You know, to speak to someone right out of the history books.
Unfortunately, it's not that easy.
What? Why?
Face isn't enough. You also need the true name of the one you're attempting to channel.
Oh, right. Pearl mentioned something like that. Do we know the founder's name? We know, the other lady. We know her sister's name.
The founder's true name is only known to the priestess who's been crowned queen. In short, the only living person who knows is the current king of Garan.
Oh, so without her help, we won't be seeing the founder anytime soon? That's no fun. So, Dirk, what will you do now?
First, I'll start by tracing the route by which the orb came into Dr. Buff's hands. Since we now know as politician that asked the doctor to study it.
Oh, sorry, Apollo was saying that's not him. Isn't he the one who stole it?
No, a political nobody like him couldn't get anywhere near the orb, let alone steal it. Must have had inside help. My money is on someone connected to the royal family.
Right. He said something to that effect back in the cave.
Whoever it may be, we need to expose their dirty scheme to the light of day.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Wright has plenty of information, courtesy of his dirty client. He might be able to shed some light on this.
Private Justice?
Oh, never mind. She's back in the drone.
That was fine work you did at the trial today. You did your sergeant proud.
That got you, Sarge. Took real courage to leave your room like that.
It's all thanks to you and Corpse Woman Sykes. With my siege defense over, I can finally sally forth.
But the battle's only just begun. One for me and me alone to fight.
Lose your mother. And your father. What a terrible thing to endure.
Yeah, being wheelchair bound doesn't help.
Private Justice? Yeah, I've been thinking. It's about time I stood on my own 2 feet. After all, I know I got Papa to coddle me.
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Take a good look, soldier. This is one small step for man, and one giant leap for me. Hold my drone for me, would you, Private Justice?
Yes, sir. What is she up to? Oh, you could do it. You could do it, Army.
Whoa.
Aww. She's standing?
What's this? Sarge, you mean your leg there?
The doctor told me I was ready to walk again months ago. But if I admitted I could walk, I knew I'd have to leave the house. So I faked it.
Makes sense, but
I kept pretending I couldn't walk. But I know Papa is watching over me now, and I hate to disappoint him. So, this day forth, I march forward on my own 2 feet.
I'm a brave kid trying to move forward like this. Must be so hard this soon after her father's death.
Don't you ever stop. You just keep on walking, comrade. Stay brave. There will be days when you'll want to stop. But I have faith you'll find a way to muster the strength to push through them.
Yeah, you can do it.
Hey, Daddy's back.
What's up, Phoenix? Mr. Wright. What's that look on his face for? Oh, Apollo. Is everything all right with Miss Faye? She's safe. For now.
Well then, we better go save her, quick. Where is she anyway?
I'm afraid I have some bad news. Huh? Maya's not here in the States. She's still in Karain. And she's still being held hostage by the mastermind behind this whole thing. The mastermind? That's right. Politician Wimperson was nothing more than a pawn. Maya's true abductors in the Kingdom of Crane. What? I don't understand, Mr. Wright. What's going on over there? They're all a bunch of kangaroo court-loving nitwits. That's what's going on. But as shocking as that news was, it's only the beginning of something big enough to shake Karain to its very core. Revolution. It's being swept up in a mighty wave that nothing can stop. Of course, at the time, I had no idea what the days ahead had in store. To be continued. Wow, like an hour on the dot. That's kind of impressive. Turnabout Revolution. Finally, we get a day 2. But also, we'll save that for next time. I do normally go for 2 hours or so because that's typically how long like most Ace Attorney segments take, and just how much like stamina I have, I guess, a lot of the time. But we're not going to start a new investigation tonight. That's given how this game has been playing out, like a lot of the investigations, like pretty much, I think maybe one of them out of the first 4 episodes, like almost all of them took 3 hours to do like the first investigation and such. So I don't have time for that tonight, and I think I'd rather go clean up some Rust code and whatnot and that kind of thing. So that's what we shall do. So I shall say goodnight here. Tomorrow is Tuesday? Yes, tomorrow's Tuesday. So, oops, excuse me. So tomorrow I'll probably play some Soak Song, because I do enjoy that, and I like alternating games. So we'll pick back up Ace Attorney, and we will investigate the Kingdom of Crane a bit more on Wednesday. So if that's of interest, then feel free to swing by for some more second monitor material, as it were. And if not, then that's okay too. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, rest of your night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And I will catch you later. So bye for now, everyone. Take it easy.